Hey, you know what I'd be thankful for this Thanksgiving? Every player in the league not getting hurt. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice not to have another Tommy DeVito situation? Shout out to DeVito and company, I guess, with that win against Washington. But I mean, just through and through, Geno Smith goes down. And then, at running back, Aaron Jones goes down. It's just the dominoes. One falls after another. And of course, I'm referring mostly to Thursday Night Football. The last time you guys saw me, we got there on the Jamar Chase touchdown at the end. I mean, fortunately, but everything went to hell. Joe Burrow goes down. Jake Browning comes in. Granted, we're on the Bengals, and we're also on over 27 and a half passing attempts for Lamar Jackson. He threw 19 passes at halftime. We needed him to attempt 8 passes in the second half, but he didn't. Why? Because Jake Browning was at quarterback on the other side. Why throw the football when the other team can't move it? Whatever. We move forward. Just no more injuries, please. Give me Thursday football, Thanksgiving, with no injuries, and I'll be happy. At least nothing significant. That's all we ask for. I'm sure you guys are on the same page. This shit is getting frustrating. But we got a hell of a game today. Philadelphia Eagles travel to Arrowhead, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of them coming off bye weeks, which makes things a little bit tricky here. The Chiefs are laying 2.5. You're going to get that at minus 115. If you want the Chiefs at minus 3 and you have faith in that, you can get that at even money. It's a tough spot. I mean, I'm looking minus 2.5 here as a spot that we might just have to bite the bullet and take. I think the Eagles are overall a better team right now from a personnel perspective. I mean, the Chiefs defense has been fantastic. Their secondary has been excellent. Run defense, believe it or not, allowing 4.6 yards per carry. But, oftentimes this is the type of team that is going to force teams to abandon the run. It's the offense that is sputtered at times because as good as Patrick Mahomes is, outside of Travis Kelce, and, at times flashes from Isaiah Pacheco, who have they really had, right? Sky Moore has been a ghost. We'll get to him in just a moment. You'll want to stick around for that one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they brought him in after they lost Tyreek Hill. At no point was he going to be a 1-for-1 swap, right? Like, he's not Tyreek Hill's proxy here, but he was expected to stretch the field and do something. He's done nothing. I mean, they brought back Mecole Hardman. You have Justin Watson that can stretch the field at times. Should I just keep going down the list? Kadarius Toney's been a complete bust. Hell, Noah Gray's one of the best pass catchers right now behind Travis Kelce. It is really ugly. So, yeah, Patrick Mahomes has been handcuffed in a lot of scenarios, yet they find ways to win. But here's the kicker. And I do like an over prop on Jalen Hurts. We'll get there. But here's the kicker. Patrick Mahomes is 16-2 in the month of November for his career. Ridiculous, okay? You look at him in November, December, January, just essentially unstoppable. And they're at home, legitimate home field advantage, just like it would be at the Link for the Eagles. It gets loud at Arrowhead. This is a Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football in Week 11. Yeah, the Chiefs won, so maybe they have a little less incentive than the Eagles, but still, Super Bowl rematch. Another huge thing, though, Andy Reid coming off of bye weeks, including the playoffs for his career, 27-4. I know this. I'm an Eagles fan. I grew up in the area. I've watched Andy Reid coming off bye weeks for well over a decade in Philadelphia. So Nick Sirianni and the Eagles also coming off a bye week don't have that advantage. Even though, funny enough, Sirianni a couple of years ago reached out to Andy Reid asking him about his bye week process, and Andy Reid filled him in a bit on that. But 27-4 coming off bye weeks for his career, including the postseason. Patrick Mahomes, 16-2 in the month of November. The Eagles are the type of team that if they can get pressure, they're going to ruin your day. If they can't, hell, we saw this twice with Sam Howell. Even the other week with Dak Prescott, they found ways to lose that game. Not the Eagles defense finding ways to winning that game. If you can get the ball out early against the Eagles, you can really beat them up in the middle of the field. Not to mention James Bradbury has not looked himself. So with all of that in mind, the minus 2.5 here inside of the field goal for the Chiefs looks okay to me. I'm not touching the total. I would actually lean over in this game, believe it or not. Even though we have that crazy trend with primetime unders, I'm not touching the total. I would lean over, but I would lean Chiefs minus 2.5 here. You still get that out there. It might move to 3 everywhere. We'll see. Maybe not. This is a tough game for sure. But I got some props that we're going to talk about. So let's dive into this. a couple from Odd Shopper, and then one that I'm going to be smashing today on top of that. The first one that jumps off the board, obviously pulling up our Odd Shopper tool. If you're not familiar with it, or if you're not a sub, no big deal. We got you covered here. I want to run you through a few. And the first thing you're going to see, it's a market-based approach, right? All we're doing is we're taking the sharp sports books, like the sharpest lines out there, and then we're trying to find the other sports books that have discrepancies there, that have essentially bad odds, bad lines, and then we're picking them off. So using this, you definitely want to have a handful of sports books at your disposal, which, you know, is the play regardless. But that's what we do here. You can see it. OS rating, EV. So the expected value, expected win. Up top, you have the bankroll tracker. So whatever your bankroll is, the default is 1,000. But whatever your bankroll is, you put it in there, and then it'll give you the appropriate recommended bet size for all of these. First one that jumps off the page to me is Sky Moore under 1.5 receptions at plus money on BetMGM. Here's the good thing about BetMGM. You guys are getting, I don't know if you have this already. Hopefully you've taken advantage of it. If you're not at BetMGM yet, you bet $10. The link's in the description and in the pinned comment. You're only going to get this here. Click that link, deposit $10, and bet $10. Whether you win or lose, after you make that bet, you're going to get an email from BetMGM, and here's what you're getting. You're getting a free month entirely of everything we have at Odd Shopper Premium. All of our plus EV bets, our parlay builder, everything for Pick'em DFS sites too, like Underdog and Prize Picks, you name it. Across the board, everything. All of our plus EV tools, 100%, $99 value. All of it is yours. Plus 2 free months of our premium insider access Discord. All the picks from all of our experts for all of the sports, 2 months. This Odd Shopper premium tool for an entire month for free. Plus up to a $1,500 first bet insurance at BetMGM. So if your first bet loses, up to $1,500, could be 10, 100, 1,500. You get it all back in bonus bets. Link in the description and in the pinned comment. Awesome deal. Great way to get in. And if you wanted to check this out basically for free, that's the way to do it. Anyway, you got to be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's dive into Sky Moore. So under 1.5 receptions, you might be saying, yeah, but Loughy, look, recently he's been putting up better numbers than that. Sure. First of all, this is market-based. So we're just looking like, let's see the sharpest books. Pinnacle, whereas they've got it at minus 115. So we're getting plus 110 at BetMGM. Huge difference here. Without question, a lot of these other books, BetMGM's plus 110, Bet365. There's a couple of plus money. The rest are juiced to the under. Now, Sky Moore, guys, played 25% of snaps last game. His lowest of the season by far. If that's a sign of things to come for a guy that was barely eking out 2 or 3 targets per game to begin with, I like getting plus money under 1.5. You're going to see a lot of unders on here because, well, the books shade these to the overs. They juice them to the over because they know people want to bet overs. You see it on Twitter all the time. Refund my bet. He got injured in the first quarter. Yeah, that would break your way far more often if you bet some unders as well. But a lot of people only like to bet overs where the truth is, the unders are more profitable. Not saying you have to take all unders. You don't. I got an over for you in a second. But the Sky Moore under 1.5 receptions at plus 110 looks good to me for a guy coming off a 15-snap game last time out. Another one, Kenny Gainwell under 7.5 receiving yards. Once you get to a number this low, the number, you know, across other books is a little less important. Like FanDuel is where you'd bet this. But Pinnacle has under 6.5 at minus 112. FanDuel at 7.5. Under 7.5 minus 114. Gainwell has gone over 7 receiving yards in 1 of his last 7 games. He's also running routes, only 10 routes per game over the last 5 games for the Philadelphia Eagles. DeAndre Swift has been really the guy in the backfield, getting the bulk of the opportunities in the passing game. So I like that. Now, if I were to go to one more here, it's going to be Jalen Hurts over 36.5 rushing yards. You can get that on BetMGM right now. Hell, if you want to use that bet to get your free month on BetMGM, this is a great one to do it, or the Sky Moore under. It's also on FanDuel, 36.5. He faced them in the Super Bowl last year. The Chiefs had 15 for 70 rushing with 3 rushing touchdowns. But that's not really the reason why. The reason I like this is because we've seen him with the knee brace, but they're coming off a bye week. He banged that knee up in the Miami game, and we saw them kind of put a governor on him, right? They kind of held the reins back on Jalen Hurts, and they got wins. So what does it matter? But now You know what the schedule looks like for the Eagles coming up? They got the Chiefs. They got the Bills. They got the Niners. They got the Cowboys. They got the Seahawks. Absolute gauntlet. Tough matchup. They got to win every game they can. The Super Bowl matchup on Monday Night Football. Coming off of a bye, not practicing with the knee brace anymore. Seems to be 100% healthy there. I love him to take off today and run as much as possible, especially against a secondary, a very good Kansas City secondary that may force Jalen Hurts to run even more than him or the coaching staff wants. So let's get that right there. Appreciate you guys hanging out as always. A little long one today, but this is a fun game. We finally got a good primetime game. Let's just keep the quarterbacks healthy, cruise to some money, and I'll see you back here for some Thanksgiving football. Peace.